It is finally showing signs that fall is actually here. The leaves are changing, the weather is cooling off, and this is my absolute favorite time of the year. The chickens are getting so big. We're still not getting any eggs from them, but that's okay. I don't think we will probably until spring, but we are still really enjoying raising them and learning about them, and they seem very happy and healthy. I actually thought my garden was done producing. I had stopped watering it, but I went out the other day and found all of these peppers, so I decided to pick them all off. I chopped them all up and put them into the freezer. I pulled out my dehydrator, which I haven't used in probably about a year and a half, and I dried all my basil, so it's been really nice to get that back out. And today I just made up some beef jerky. It is marinating in the fridge, and I will get that in there tomorrow morning. So it's really nice to be able to pull it out and use it again. This has been a pretty hectic week, so I didn't get a ton of decluttering done, but we still got quite a few items out of the house. I wanted to start in the entryway. We keep these baskets up there for the kids' hats and gloves. Now that the colder weather is here, I wanted to go through and see if anything was too small for them, see if we could pick those things out. And then later on, we're going to go through another basket that I have in the basement. Again, just going through and seeing if I need to buy them anything else, which I will most likely have to buy the kids some new gloves. And then I'm using the Dana K. White method and clearing out some of these items, taking them where they belong now rather than putting them in piles for later. I do find that is a very helpful process to use. So it just took a couple of minutes to clear these things out. And now I'm tackling the mail. If you have been around for a while, you'll know that I used to have these massive piles of mail on my kitchen counter. We had at least 4 going at all times, stacked very high. And right now, this is the only mail that I have for a pile in the house. So since I was hurt, I wasn't going through it as often as I usually do. So it had built up quite a bit. So I took a few minutes, and you're going to see just how much of it was actual trash. The majority of this was trash, so I'm definitely going to get back into doing it once a week and going through it to make sure that that doesn't happen again. All of the mail that went at the bottom was things that need to be put away in the filing cabinet, and I just did not have the energy for it this week, but at least I know exactly where it is, and then when I do have the time, I would love to move the filing cabinet out of the kitchen where it is now. So I'm hoping once we redo the bedroom downstairs that it can go down there. This is everything that was on that little shelf. We've got some flowers. I'll add those with my seeds that I have downstairs. This entire pile here is all trash. We've got some magazines that are trash. This small pile there, I just need to shred. This is gonna go into my junk drawer. It's always nice to have some paper in there. And this is gonna go down into the basement with some boxes that we have for home repair stuff. I am going to count, I'm not going to count each individual piece of mail here, but I'm going to say 10 for items that we're getting rid of because there's a lot more than 10 there, but I think that that's pretty fair. Instead of leaving everything in a pile, I decided to go ahead and shred everything right away just to get it done and out of the way. My husband and kids did a ton of yard work, and these are all items that went out into the front and they all got taken immediately. Except for the big green one, my husband is going to try to sell that, but everything else was taken right off the curb that same day. And here we are in the box downstairs where I have a few winter items. I know that I have another bag somewhere in our big closet down there. I just haven't been able to get in there to access it yet, but I'm hoping to do that this coming week. But I wanted to at least come in. I knew that there was some things in here that could be donated and then some things that had to be thrown away. Any pairs of gloves that I found that were still in good shape and in a pair, I was able to donate, and the rest that were just single gloves I did have to throw away. And there was also a pair with a rip in it that got thrown away. I have about a week left before I have to go back to work, and I'm hoping in that week that I can do some of the harder projects that need to be done, such as going through some of the buckets that I have there and some more things in the closet that I am really dreading going through to get rid of. You're going to see a little bit later on that I do go into the room and go through a few items. And at first, I almost didn't put it into the video because it felt kind of pointless, but I'll explain more about that once we get there. I know I say it every week, but even if you don't have a ton of time and you can't dedicate an entire week or several hours at a time to go through and declutter, all the little projects that you can do in a few minutes actually do add up, and they really do lighten the feel of your house, and getting rid of things and donating them when they can be used by other people if you're no longer using them does feel really good. I also want to warn you at the end, when we're going through all of the items that we're going to declutter, we have a very unwanted and unwelcome guest that joins us, and it scares me, and I wanted to warn you so it didn't scare you as well. Every once in a while, it's a good idea to pull out things that, even though you think you know what's in them, in this container, I just keep some paper plates that we almost never use, but occasionally, if we have a lot of people over for cake or something, I will pull those out so I don't have to do all the dishes. But it is helpful just to go through those bins, even if you think you know what's in them. The seltzer was almost empty, so I figured I would just take out the cans and get rid of that extra box. And then I found this little container that wasn't being used, and instead of keeping the dishwasher tabs in the cardboard box, I wanted to keep them in a more airtight container. Now here's the area I wasn't going to show. This room really stresses me out these days. A lot of this stuff is not mine. A lot of this stuff is my husband's, and there's nothing that I can do with it, but the organization and just the way that it looks drives me absolutely crazy. So I came through and I just wanted to kind of see what was in some of these boxes. And even though I didn't get rid of a ton of items, I was still able to find a couple things that we could get rid of, and I'll show you those later. But I also found, when I went to take some batteries out and put them into our battery case, I found that there was a couple of eroded batteries in there. So it did lead to some good. I was able to get those batteries out before they did any more damage. And I also decided to purchase a new battery caddy to keep them all in. So I'm going to show you that later as well. Now, I know I've said it before, but we do have plans to go through this room and really redo it. And that's, I think, why I'm struggling, because I do have plans to make it more organized, and I don't want to get rid of too much until we know the space that we have once it's done. So here's the battery case. Those were eroded in there, so I was able to get those out. So after seeing the corroded batteries in that one, I decided to invest in a real battery storage container. I picked it up off Amazon. This way I think I'm able to keep better control. Plus I love that it has the tester and I know exactly what I need to get. I could probably get a couple more of the 9 volts. I don't have any D batteries. It holds all of these plus all of those on the other side. So it is a little bigger, but where I store it, there's plenty of room for it, and I'm really happy with it. So this is the one that I got off Amazon if you're interested. This is a shelf in my son's room that I went through really quickly of items I knew he didn't want. Okay, let's see how many items we're going to get rid of this week. On top of the items from outside plus the mail, we will add all of this up and tally it all together. So this box was sitting in our son's room. When they visited, I told you that his girlfriend ordered a suitcase. This is the box that it came in. I'm going to include this as the first item. And then this blanket is such a nice blanket. I love it. I wish I could keep it, but it has a stain on it from the floor paint on the concrete when my husband was painting it. This blanket was laying on the floor. He didn't realize it. It got concrete paint on it and I cannot get it out. So I'm going to see if I can maybe donate this to an animal shelter, if they can take it. I don't know. But this is 2. The unwelcome guest is coming soon. And we'll just go with the trash first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did you see that centipede run by? I wanted to jump up and get it, but it was going too fast. Ooh, I hate centipedes. Ooh. Okay. Whew. Okay, 13. 14. This is a bottle of blueberry wine or Prosecco. I don't know. I don't know what I would use this for, so I'm going to just see if somebody else wants it. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 items on top of what we've already done. So we will tally all of that up and get it out of the house. This vase I did a few weeks ago. It was actually sitting in my declutter pile. When they came to visit, they bought me some flowers. I thought I had a vase. I'm pretty sure that I saved a vase somewhere, but I could not find it. So I pulled this out of the donate pile to put the fresh flowers in. But now that those are dead, I've thrown them away and I'm going to declutter this and just pick up a different vase whenever I see one that I like. But I'm not going to keep this because I just don't like it for a vase. And then these are all just single gloves that I have to throw away. The other ones are pairs that can be donated along with all the flashcards. So not too bad. So between the yard and the house, we got 61 items out. Don't forget to let me know how many things you've gotten rid of this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.